Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. This here, a massive system shaping up, and I don't use that term lightly. You could see it for yourself right here. This is what happens through the end of the week into the weekend. Big impacts anywhere from New Mexico, Texas, stretching all the way back through Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, swinging right back through the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, and then we could see a significant snow that will be a potential around D.C. and Baltimore, and right on the edge of New England, right on the edge of a system. The trends have been bringing that snow a little bit closer. We'll cover that in this video. Let me give you a sample of where things stand now with this version of the European model. And this is what we're leaning to. We don't just look at the models. Matt and I kind of cover everything, and then we really fine tune what we could get. But just now, just kind of giving you a feel, spitting out if things were to stand as of now and what we're seeing in the environment stand, we could see upwards of 6, 7, 8 inches of some snow in the DC, Annapolis, Baltimore area. In south, a significant snow, potentially over a foot over toward the Tidewater area, watching over toward Norfolk and Virginia Beach. This gives us a feel of what could happen. This may shift more to the north. Maybe it shifts away. We'll wait and see. That's exactly what we'll be fine tuning. We are going to be watching this ever so carefully. Matt and I will put out additional updates. If you're subscribed, you'll get those first. Now, on top of this, that big cold air plunge working in through the end of the week, diving down to the south, it meets that moisture that's lifting up from the Gulf. So let me show you what's going to happen, give you the perspective as we go forward. Let me give you this view first, then we'll swing you around. We'll see a couple shots of rain and snow, right? A couple smaller ones, Great Lakes, New England, back through the Atlantic region of Canada through Thursday. So just kind of putting that, not losing sight of that, but putting that on the back burner because the main player starts to develop as we work our way toward the end of the week. Watch what happens as we go forward. Friday into Saturday, you can see it here. I'll expand this out in just a second, cover the potential of snow totals in this video. But this here by Saturday morning, look at the snow, significant parts of North Carolina, even northern South Carolina. This pink shading, the wintry mix, including icing. A huge ice storm is a potential, super widespread. Widespread power outages are going to be likely out of this. And then by Sunday morning, look at that snow from DC swinging back toward Delmarva, Philadelphia on the edge of it, and then New York and over toward Hartford and Boston. It may be just to the south, but one thing I've been noting, this here's on Sunday, according to the American model. I'll show you the European in just a moment. The trends have been a little bit more to the north, so we'll see if that continues. If this system, and the system hasn't developed yet, that's the uncertainty, but if the trends are a little bit more to the north, this could bring a snow, and a significant one, to parts of New England. That's what we'll keep an eye on. That's not baked in yet, but that is something we're going to keep an eye on. Now watch how this storm starts. This here is by Wednesday, taking you into tomorrow. There's the moisture pulling up through Houston, New Orleans, back through Lake Charles, Lafayette, and then starting to build around the Atlanta area. This is just kind of the seed of it. I mentioned that cold air that plunges down. We'll see that meeting some of this, and then look at that, New Mexico, back through parts of Texas, Oklahoma, that snow, the icing, widespread power outages. Can't stress that enough with this very dangerous scenario setting up. It is going to be so very cold. You see the snow on the top side. There's the icing, those colors, those pinks that we're seeing in there, a little bit of sleet. Rain on the south side. Not really seeing this as much, diving back toward the back toward Florida. Maybe eventually a little bit of action as we work our way toward the tail end of this. This here is by Sunday, and then you see it riding up toward the mid-Atlantic on the edge of New England. Still some of the icy weather, icing conditions as we work our way even into Sunday, right across the deep south. This here is the American model. Let me show you what the European model is spitting out. Spitting out more of a significant snow and a little bit more to the north. This here would be Saturday morning. So you see here, the Dallas area, that icing, so very dangerous. Some of the snow back toward parts of Tennessee, stretching back toward Oklahoma, panhandle of Texas right there. A mess as we work our way into New Mexico. So as we work our way forward, this here again, this is Saturday, according to the European model. And then we take a look at a zoomed in look. Look at the Dallas area all the way down through Austin. The potential of some of that icing, this pink shading here, Amarillo, snow, which could be actually significant in spots back toward OKC. And then you see this shifting all the way over. This is how widespread it is with that icing all the way back from Columbia, back through Atlanta, Montgomery on the edge of it, mainly just to the north, Jackson on the edge of the icing across 55, right in through here. Again, this is Saturday by 6 p.m. an incredible widespread event as far as icing is concerned. This is going to be a huge system that is developing. It's just what it is. Now on the top side of this here would be by the time we get into Saturday evening, we could start to see that snow spreading across Virginia, West Virginia, panhandle of Maryland, really all of Maryland, Delmarva. And this is the spot a little bit closer to the water where it could be really significant. So it's going to be a very close call, not only for New England, how much snow eventually may or may not move in, but how much of this kind of lives in. There could be a huge snow from Philly, Baltimore, DC, or maybe it stays just south. But wherever it is going to be rather significant, upwards of a foot of snow in some spots. That just gives you the feel of the available moisture. Now it'll be pinpointing exactly where that sets up. This here would be by Sunday morning. Still some of that snow back through New Jersey, over toward Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and again, significant at times as it starts to pull away. We work our way back through New York, New Haven, Hartford, Providence, swinging back toward Boston, the Cape and the Islands, on the edge of it. But the trends have been a little bit closer, right? So we're just going to see. This could be a classic miss to the south, but the trends have been building back, and this system still days away. So we'll see how that shakes out as we swing back toward New England. But as it stands now, this is through Sunday evening. These would be some of the snow totals. This is a model, but I look at all the models. Matt and I look at the environment, and this is what I'd lean to as of now. But this swath right through here, we'll see how it kind of shifts north or south, as I mentioned earlier. But if this were to stand out, gives you a feel. Charleston, West Virginia, get over toward Dunbar, about 7 inches of rain. Lynchburg, back toward Blacksburg, we could see about 6, 7, 8, 9 inches of some of the rain over toward Virginia Tech. Back through DC, about 7 inches. Alexandria, Arlington, Fredericksburg could be a very significant snow. And then south, this is that pocket that could be over a foot of some snow. Watching Richmond back toward Norfolk, clipping by Delmarva, Salisbury, depending on how this shakes out, could get one of the biggest snows in quite some time. And then we'll see if this shifts to the north. If this stands now, maybe an inch or two as we work our way forward into parts of New York, maybe Hartford. We'll be watching that as we go forward. But these totals, again, rather significant, the potential of that in this pocket. But does this shift north or south? That's a wait and see. But look at this stretch of accumulating snow all the way back toward the west. That's how widespread. And again, just south of this line, that's where the icing is. A very significant ice storm will be shaping up with that cold air meeting the moisture. And that's why it's going to be so widespread. The timing of it, moisture feeding in from the Gulf, cold air coming down from the North Pole. And here's a sample of this. Look at Saturday morning. Some of these numbers in here. Below zero, you get back toward Worcester, Springfield, we're looking at the actual air temp that could be below zero by the time we get into Saturday morning. That sets the stage not only for what's going on here across New England, the Atlantic region of Canada, so very cold, but what's going on down to the south, that big cold air plunge all the way down to the south. So we've got that Arctic blast timed out with what we're seeing with some of the moisture and giving that significant icing event. So a massive winter system is forming. Record and widespread ice. I don't throw around the record label too much, but you saw it yourself how widespread this icing event could be. DC, Baltimore, a significant snow threat, and just to the south as of now, New England and the Atlantic region of Canada, we're going to monitor, right? We're on the edge of it, at least in New England. The trends have been kind of building back snow, at least closer. We'll see though, but Matt and I will be giving you these additional updates. Again, subscribe to get those updates right here on Snow Bros. We've got a big system that's going to be nearby for some and huge impacts for others. We got you covered. Thank you for being part of this channel on Snow Bros. Have a good day ahead.